Hey, hey, hey! How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I have a bit of a voice, but hey. Lovely, lovely, lovely. A whole new week, depending on when you're listening to this. Of course, I am Rosemary Nonny Knight. I am the Prosperity Minister. And I support you in leaving behind the pain, the sad, limiting stories of your past and rising victorious into your true design life, okay? Now, I completely utterly believe that it is your divine right to be free, to be fulfilled, to be financially abundant, and to be love drenched if you are willing. Always like to add if you are willing, because a lot of people, they talk about all the things they want, but when they're asked to do certain things, usually very simple things that will enable them to move forward, they don't do it. Which tells me that actually you're quite addicted to your old story. And a lot of people are. I used to be very addicted to my old story, but we want to move away from that. Now, today's Ask Me Anything question is somebody sent me through an email talking about how things always seem to go wrong for her. And I've kind of addressed that topic, but in this particular situation, she's living in a permanent state of fear that things are really going to go bad because she saw people dying in her life, and it feels as though things are just never working out the way she intends them to. My phone is doing something. I don't know what. But before we get into that and the answer that I'm going to give to that, let's sing the affirmation. I take back dominion. Say hello, guys. Say hello. Don't just look at me. Say hello. I take back dominion of my life and my affairs. Yes, I rise. Tell me where you're streaming in from whilst I'm singing this to you. Let's sing this together. I take back dominion of my life and my affairs. I take back dominion of my life and my affairs. I take back dominion of my life and my affairs. Yes, I rise. 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 So that's our affirmation. We're going to carry on with that one for this week. I take back dominion. I take back dominion of my life and my affairs. Honey, this is your life. This is your life. Now, I remember a time in my life where we used to have armed robbers coming around the house fairly frequently. My father had this car accident that left him paralyzed from his neck down. We were all in the car, and he was the only one, unfortunately, that got hurt. And there was all kinds of stories, which ultimately led us to living in a place where we had armed robbers coming to visit us quite a lot. So this was in Nigeria. And I lived in fear for a very long time because you never quite knew when you were going to go to bed, whether you were going to wake up in the morning without something happening, or if you're going to wake up in the morning and have had somebody, whether you're going to wake up in the middle of the night, actually, with armed robbers in your house, yelling and screaming, shooting guns everywhere, your mother being pulled around the place, basically being beaten because my father, he couldn't move, he couldn't walk, so my mom was the one that was being pulled up and down all over the place. And so we'd be listening to her in the middle of the night, crying and screaming, where they're beating her and you don't know what to do, basically. And it was just a horrible time in my life. I used to prefer to be at school or at university than to be at home, because at least at school or university it was predictable. I could go to sleep in the night and wake up in the morning, no armed robbers would come around. So I know what it's like to live with fear. To live with fear that somebody's going to come and take away your freedom. Live with fear that somebody's going to come and try and rape you or do something to you or your family. I've had people die in my household, okay? So I know what it's like to live with fear. The thing I did not know at that point was that I got a choice as to how I reacted to the circumstances. I felt I have no choice. Of course, and you can listen to my story and say, of course you'd be afraid. And yeah, from a very normal perspective, yes, of course, anyone would be afraid. Guys, say hello. I see all of y'all here. None of y'all are saying hello to me. Say hello. Say hello right now. The queen has spoken. But this is it, guys. Of course, there was a reason for me to feel afraid. And so, yes, I did make it in some ways my MO, whatever that even means, where I was operating in fear most of the time, which did make me a very passive person, just kind of waiting for things to happen, waiting for life to happen to me. Oh my gosh, who's going to come and take away my freedom this time? Who's going to try and do something horrible to me this time? This expectation that things were always going to end up badly for me. It's not a great way to live, honeys. It's not a great way to live at all. And some of y'all are living. Hello, Christine. Lovely to have you here, my love. Some of y'all are living like that, where you are constantly in anticipation of something bad happening to you. It is not your divine right to live that way. You can connect to the divine and start to find that the divine is your source of safety and security, regardless of what's happening in the world out there. Now, some of y'all would probably claim and shout, and I used to claim and shout about how, yes, sir, I know that. But do you really? Have you actually cultivated a faith, a trust in this connection with your higher self, with the universe, with whatever you want to call it, with God? Have you cultivated a very, very deliberate connection? Because it's a practice. It's not oh, I suddenly one day feel full of faith and that's it. No, you practice feeling full of faith. You practice choosing to feel secure regardless of what is happening around you. It is a practice, my loves, okay? So that's one thing right there. If you are living in continual anticipation of fear, practice trust. Practice believing that you are actually always taken care of, and notice that you really kind of are, because you're still here listening to me, right? So you didn't die. And that, okay, yes, maybe it's not as wonderful yet as you would like it to be. Well, decide what you would want and start heading towards it confidently. Practice, because like this person that sent me this email just is saying that, whenever she plans anything, it almost always feels as if someone dies or something horrible happens, and none of her plans ever seem to materialize in the way that she anticipated and hoped that they would. And so now I suppose then you start, like I said, I became that person that just lived from a sense of, well, everything is always going to go wrong for me. If anything does go right, then I need to just watch out, because it's only a matter of time before something else goes wrong. But that's a habit. It's a habit I developed. Actually, I need to get on the phone very soon, so I need to finish this soon. It's a habit I developed. And it's a habit that I made the decision to break away from, where I started to catch myself. What am I anticipating right now? Am I anticipating the good, my highest and best, or am I anticipating the bad? The problem for us is that we are powerful enough to create whatever we expect, which can sometimes make you afraid, because then you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm anticipating horrible things. Maybe that's why all this horrible... Okay, ultimately recognize that you are powerful, okay? Doesn't mean that you start blaming yourself and feeling sorry for yourself some more. It means that you have to, one, as I said, connect to the divine, really practice that connection. Number two, start looking for things to be grateful for. Start looking for things very deliberately to practice the habit of gratitude, the habit of looking for things that are actually going in your favor. It's a habit. You're in the habit of anticipating bad stuff. You need to get into the habit of anticipating good stuff. The reason why you're in the habit of anticipating bad stuff is because you've practiced it a lot. So you need to practice good stuff. Practice being grateful for things. Practice shifting your brain to look for the good things in your life, even when some things happen. You have no control over when someone dies or doesn't die, unfortunately. We don't, okay, unless that person has asked you to pray for them and bring them back from the dead, you don't really know where they were coming from or what was going on with them. So you can't take responsibility for what happens to somebody else. What you can take responsibility for is your own happiness, your own levels of faith. Connection, gratitude. Those are two things I would say practice hard. Practice like you would practice any practical physical thing. Practice shifting your mind away from always anticipating the scary thing going to happen to you. Instead, start practicing the good thing happening for you. Start looking for the good thing, because the problem with practicing the bad stuff is that you start looking for the bad stuff. And for some of you, it really does feel as if your life is always just one bad thing after the other, because that's all you have practiced looking for. That's all you've practiced seeing, okay? You've become someone, unfortunately, and I'll just be honest with you, who always sees the bad, but it's not the truth for anybody. It's not the truth for anybody. And I know some of y'all can say, you don't know, you haven't been in my life. I know that when you're in the middle of it, it can truly feel as if there is no other way to see life. But I tell you right now, it's only because that's what you've practiced, because it's not the truth. We are all capable of creating amazing life experiences if we're willing. But it's free will, honey. It's free will. It's a real thing. The divine isn't going to come and save you if you're unwilling to do these simple practices to learn how to actually deliberately design your life. Guys, right now, the Deliberate Millionaire Assembly is open. Some of y'all are way too immersed in negativity and in, oh my gosh. You know, there's just too much immersion in the things you don't want. You need to come and work with me within the Deliberate Millionaire Assembly, okay? You get access to the Abundance Library. You get access to the Freedom Collection. So it's business, personal growth, spiritual growth programs. You get access to a lot of other programs that you don't get in either of those two collections. And you get access to working with me on a daily basis, you know, doing life with me. But also we do what I call the clearing and agreement event. So we start to clear some of these blocks inside of you. I start to help you see where you're holding yourself back. Because some of y'all, you're so immersed in life as it has always been that you don't even see where you're holding yourself back anymore until you choose to put yourself in an environment that helps you notice that there's another way of seeing and doing life. You'll continue to see the same patterns replay in your life. And I know that you are more powerful than that. I know that you have a territory and a throne and a stuff that you need to reclaim. But only if you are willing. If you continue to do exactly the same stuff, immerse yourself in exactly the same things, you will continue to get the same results. So listen, yes, if you've not done the Abundance Library at all, then message me the word abundance. I'll get you the link to the library. You go join in. But I would say take it to the next level. Come and work with me in the Deliberate Millionaire Assembly, okay, where you get access to the library anyway, but you're also immersed in an environment that helps you to think bigger and broader, okay? If you are anticipating evil all of the time, you need to immerse yourself in an environment that enables you to anticipate good things. Are you done with playing small? Ugh, my throat. Come forth. Message me the word millionaire and I will get the link over to you. Now, I also ask that you share this with other people. Share this with other people because others need to hear this empowering stuff right now. This world right now is going through a shift. And it is time for us to rise up as love and light in this world. Come and immerse yourself in an environment that enables you to be the leader that you're born to be. And then also share this with someone else, okay? So message me the word millionaire. Let's do life together and move forward. I'm loving the community that I'm building. Together, we're rising up as leaders, as queens. Unapologetically. Are you ready, my loves? Okay, until the next time, gotta go, have a call. Much amazing love.